an incident happened, maybe, let's say, a policeman is wounded and is lying on the ground, and you want to take a shot, the police officer there can prevent you from taking that shot. Because you see, according to our protocols, if somebody is injured, I'm not supposed to put out any story on it until I inform the relatives. You understand? So if he allows you to take that shot, you are going to broadcast it before the relative gets involved.
We're talking about injury situations or accident situations. How about confrontations between, worst case scenario, two police officers?
You will be when police officers, two police officers are engaged in an altercation. Why should it be news for you on election day? It should not. Your duty, you see, sir, all of us, let's avoid sensationalism. Let us deal with the facts on the ground. Let us deal with things that will help us.
So I think
because you see, the point is that most of the time we will forget the story and put up something that is.
Okay, sir. So I'm thinking that you should brief us on things we can report on and things we can't. And the second question to
can we?
The second question to the level.
This media training. Were you part of it? No.
Tell me about it, sir.
You didn't know about it. Okay. So we cannot give 100%. How do you call it? I can't give a global answer that will fit all situations. Case by case basis, discretion of the police officer there. If he thinks that what you are doing will impede his work, he will stop you.
Okay.
If you are not happy with it, you lodge a complaint, we investigate it.
To the next one. That is what point can they tell me to show them my shot and possibly delete it?
If, for instance, like I said, you have taken a shot, that is how do you call it? Against what he has been taught not to be exposed. He can ask you to show you his.
Finally, sir,
you can ask you to show him your shot. Sorry.
Okay. We see how it goes. When you went to the 16 regions for the tour, you mentioned that you were okay with a lot of provisions made in the regions, but there were some gaps that still need to be filled. What gaps and when will they be filled before elections? Those
are technical issues. I can't tell you that, for instance, I need to have 100 AK-47s in this region. Okay. I have 99. So I need to get 10 tender shots in this. I cannot tell that.
We hope they won't affect the elections.
It will not.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Mind you, I said we are filling those gaps, so we'll fill them before the election day. Thank you.
Hey. Sir, please, we have some questions on Facebook. First of all, someone wants to know how many security officials will be at each police station. Second one, during the registration exercise, we saw a video where, and this I think...
Wait, let me answer that one first. Technically, there should be at least one security officer at any police station at all, any polling station. But depending on the situation, there's this polling station at the overhead, the circle overhead. There's a cinema hall there, Orion. Obviously, you can't put one policeman in Orion. During the registration, I went there. You can't put one policeman in Orion. In the same way, for instance, there's this police station at the. I came to Burma camp and Burma Hall. Nobody is misbehaving. So technically, you don't even need a police station there, but by the law, we must have a police officer there. So there was a police officer there. So it depends on the circumstances.
The next question, this one was also asked by Anas. from Citi. During the registration exercise, we saw a video where an uniformed man, believed to be a national security operative, was ordering a policeman in uniform at Asawase. What has investigation disclosed and what has been done? And the third one is what lessons police has learned from the registration exercise. The person. This is the last question. I see that all the reporters here are started. Nobody is by the microphone, so this is the last question, and then we wrap up. Thank you.
Well, that Kumasi incident, I am still doing consultation on it. I am aware that it's being investigated, but I don't know the stage at which the investigation has gotten to. I'll find out and let the media know later. Yeah, you're asking another question.
So the last one, he wants to know what's one lesson we have learned from the registration exercise, and won't security officials be overwhelmed? Thank you.
Won't security
officers be overwhelmed on election day?
Security officers will not be overwhelmed. That is the essence of planning. So, we started planning this from a long time ago. So, we will not be overwhelmed. And the lessons that we have learned, like I said, there were certain situations where we did not expect, because of maybe the nature of the people there. We were expecting that. Take my own Doma. The people of Doma are very law-abiding and very peace-loving and will not hurt each other. Unfortunately, during the registration exercise in Doma West, we had a violent situation. So the lessons we have learned, one of which I'm going to tell you, is that we don't take anything for granted. What you plan properly for everything, and your planning should be able to take care of all the situations you have planned and those that you don't even have the expectation that they will happen. So we take care of contingencies. That's what I'm talking about. So the plan, the registration exercise actually taught us that in situations where you see very still water, you have to be careful before you enter, because under the still water could be currents that could sweep you away. Thank you very much.
I said that was the last, but please, this question, allow it. He's asking, how are you going to ensure that ration for security personnel is timely, so that the political parties do not capitalize on it to influence personnel with food?
Ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you that the ration has been budgeted for, has been ring-fenced, and will be provided. And before the deployments are made, the rations will definitely be paid. I can understand that because I was in a situation somewhere where one organization, the ration that was given to them did not get to the personnel, and at the end of the day, they had to go to the police had to pay until later on the monies were refunded. Of course, that's not in Ghana, so don't worry. So the ration will be provided before the deployments are made. Thank you.
Sir General of Police, members of the National Election Security Task Force, members of the Police Management Board, and our friends from the media, you have come in your numbers. Thank you very much. The engagement will continue until the electoral process is over. To end this press conference, you know we started with an opening prayer. So we will close it so that you can go and file your stories for the citizenry to follow. So please, I will invite DSP Reverend Jonas Amakumbekwin.
Please let us rise for a prayer. We thank you for successful deliberation. We pray for your graces to come out successfully. through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you. So, because you have had the opportunity to ask all your questions, there will be no interviews. Thank you. We will attend to you.
All right, so that's the update from the election task force, security task force that are preparing. And it seems like they've done a pretty thorough job so far, going around the country, assess the different situations. They said we have about 6,174 hotspots, potential, flashpoints around the country. But again, we have 62,000 plus forces, personnel that are going to be detailed on the day. One of the things that, to me, I think it's a very important step forward in terms of the way we handle security is to identify each person who has been detailed for the exercise on the day, by the armband that he says that they will all be wearing special armbands that day, So I think, all in all, I feel it's a very positive update, where we find ourselves. Yeah.
Definitely. And earlier this week we had the CDD report, and some Ghanaians shared concerns they have of this election year. 45% of people feared the likelihood of violence. 8 out of 10 people wanted armed police personnel at polling stations, and 59% demanded jail terms for electoral fraud and violence by party supporters. And this is really important because all the time we come in and say all the great things, but then on the ground, you see some of these same politicians instigating some of these violence. We have the Vigilantism Act, which is now supposed to put you in jail for up to 15 years if you do any of these things, irrespective of whatever political party you belong to. But would we actually arrest these people and actually prosecute them and make examples out of them? It is some of these things that will enable the citizenry know that we are very serious. I like that the police, they are preparing. They talked about security for election year has a lot to do with what you do before the elections itself. We have just 1 month and 3 days to go. So they are updating us now. They want us to know the hotspots that they've identified. I was shocked by the number of places that they're saying.
I mean, I was thinking maybe in the hundreds, but this is over
in
6,000.
the thousands. So that means, who are these young people? Why do they feel the need to do some of these things? And beyond deploying these policemen there, I would like to see maybe post-elections ways to engage them so that they don't feel the need to be manipulated by politicians for their own political gain. Because once they win office, you won't see them again until the next election season. They give you a couple of CDs and allow you, do these things on their behalf, and it's not right.
I like the way they sort of threw the net wide to identify the possible flashpoints. I think that he mentioned three different three different identifying marks, for the flashpoints. He said that history of violence. So places that have proven to have had these kind of things before was one. Also, the voter registration exercise itself, things that happened, at the voter registration exercise, also gave them an idea of what was potentially possible to happen. And then, of course, general crime in certain areas as well was also another factor that they looked at. And I think that, for me, this update session has given me a certain sense of thoroughness. That the police are they're not leaving any stone unturned in the process. So I think my confidence level has gone up a bit after listening to them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. But on the issue of identification, and a few journalists asked these questions, because sometimes you will see a bunch of guys and they will claim to be part of some sort of security forces. So we know that with the exception of the CID and BNI, everyone else is supposed to be fully clothed.
Yes.
But if you walk into a space where you have 10 or 20 people claiming to be part of CID and BNI, are you actually going to have the courage to ask them to show
identify
you
themselves?
Do you get me?
Yeah.
And should there be some sort of a code that is on the band? Perhaps it's a digital world. There should be a way where you can scan it to know that it's legit. And if the person goes about doing something wrong, they can trace it back to you. Because if there's a situation where you hand your badge, whatever it is that you're going to show as an identification, to someone else who ends up causing some sort of violence, there should be an easy way to trace it. So I really hope, I mean, the BNI guys, CID, those are not people to mess with, but we need to make sure that some of these thugs who are within the political parties won't find ways to claim that they are part of the CID or part of BNI. And these godfathers who would take advantage of them to make the whole process difficult for all of us should be prosecuted.
I think it's important, so it's all well and good, the current updates that we're getting. One of the questions I was asked was prosecutions in court. I guess the police don't want to touch on the issue of court much, because once it's sort of gone to court, it's almost as though it's out of their hands, right? But I do think that it's important for us to call on our judiciary to expedite action on the cases that have come to court, because again, there's always a sense of justice being delayed, lending itself to the fact that maybe we will not get justice at all. And then also that feeds into the larger narrative, of people being able to get away with whatever crimes that they may want to commit, feeling that nothing will come of it, at the end of the day. If they did so, there will be no repercussions. Now, we don't want to have a system where people feel impunity is the order of the day, and therefore they can do whatever it is that they like, Case in point, Ayawaso West Wagon, the commission came out with recommendations. I have questions. How many of the recommendations were implemented? Of course, people would say recommendations are recommendations. There's no obligation for the executive to implement. But then again, it lends itself, to further questions. Are we serious about what we claim to want in the country? So some of these things are things that, will always feed into the political space and the political discourse, So again, then that comes back into the issue of security. If people were able to get away with it one time, will they be able to get away with it again? How do they feel? And so like you're saying, if some godfather says, let me sponsor some boys to go and do X, Y, Z, are they afraid of repercussions or not? They'll say, oh, there will be some kind of investigation, but hey, it will never be traced back to me, so I'll pay the boys off or whatever. I think we need to make sure that our judiciary also helps us in the whole democratic exercise that we are practicing, so that police do their job, judiciary also do their job, and do it with dispatch, so that we all feel that, look, the system is working, and we can trust what it is that you come and set up on TV to talk about.
Definitely, and that number, almost 70,000 policemen will be deployed. The Odododio situation. Some of the eyewitnesses said that there may be 1 or 2 policemen there, but they were not armed. And the CDD report said categorically 8 out of 10 Ghanaians want armed police security personnel at the polling station. If members of parliament are asking to be protected, then this speaks volumes. And the irony in this is that on a regular day, security was actually less than 10% when people shared their concerns with that survey.
Yeah.
You know, so then it means that it's just this period. What are we going to do with the almost 70,000 people that we're going to deploy? How are we going to train them? How are we going to give them the resources they need? Because if you have 10 of them, because the average may be a little under 15 per polling station, what are they going to be, you know, equipped with to adequately do their jobs? We've had policemen complain about not having enough food, not having enough water. Even when we had the coronavirus situation, they said what they were promised ended up not being what they needed. You know, so even something as simple as training, if we're going to arm them, how do we make sure that none of them are trigger happy? Because you're going to deal with party supporters who may try to worry you, stress you out just because they are excited. How do we ensure that we don't get out of hand with trying to maintain peace? So I think there's a lot more that the Ghana Police Service would have to work on between now and December 7th. I'm happy that they are engaging us now, because we've had situations where every little thing is kept under the rugs. We're investigating. It's almost as if we can't know what's happening. So this approach is great. You've updated us on your plans. Now, next, the over 60,000 people, how are they going to be trained? Will they be armed? If we see something, is there a specific number we can call? He mentioned a certain time frame that you can reach them. How do we ensure that all of this is happening so that we don't end up having journalists terrified of policemen? The people going out to vote are terrified, and the impact that will have is that you have low voter turnout, and we don't want that. So I'm happy that they are on top of it now. Hopefully, come December, everything will be sorted.
There's one thing that I wish he had, you know, taken a different, given us a different response to, though. That was the issue of journalists and the taking of photos and so on, and being requested to delete files and all of that. This is a national election. There should be nothing that is hidden from the view of the entire nation. Nothing. I don't see under what circumstance that anybody would want to hide anything that's happening at a polling station from the view of the rest of the nation. Okay, now, I stand to be corrected. There may be peculiar situations, I don't know. I can't think of any.
Well, the reason he gave, I must say, I agree with the reason he gave, that let's say someone is killed. They want to be the ones to inform the family, not the person finding out on a media platform. And I think that's more of an ethical thing for media folks, for us, to not be the ones to post. And I don't even think media houses do this. Maybe people on Facebook, regular people just
and bloggers, you know, whatever people want to do.
That's more of an ethical thing, that these things. But most of the time, when we stop a journalist and they're harassing them, it has nothing to do with taking pictures of a dead body. I've not heard any example of a journalist taking a picture of a dead body, so the policeman or woman is harassing them out of respect for the family.
No,
so
it's not about that. That's why I'm saying that I wish he had gone a different route in the response. You know, I feel that it's important to give, you know, the right to information bill has been passed. We have the right, to get whatever information we need and publish the information, you know, and the nation has the right also to access the information of whatever is happening in the elections across the country. I think it's important for us to do the right things.
But I feel safer, you know, hearing from our IGP on exactly what they plan to do to keep us all safe, and we're all going to go out and vote come December 7th, because it is our constitutional right.
Thank you for staying with us. We will Breakfast Daily, as you know us to be the host. We will be right back with you 7:30 tomorrow morning, and keep watching Citi TV. My name is David Kukusich.
And I am Jifayake Ametam. Goodbye.
Election 2020, Ghana makes a choice. Tracking and bringing you reports of the presidential and parliamentary campaigns across the length and breadth of this nation.
Analyzing campaign activities and election data with our panelists on the Voters' Diary.
The Voters' Diary is the most factual, instructive, and balanced election 2020 analysis program on television.
The Voters' Diary every weekday on Citi TV from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Stay informed on all the relevant issues on election 2020.
Tune into the Voters' Diary with Ghana's Choice.
On the 7th of December, you will be going to the polls to elect a member of parliament. How well do you know your constituency?
We take a visit to the Awutu Senya East constituency of the Central region. We are coming to you from the Inshayaso constituency in the Ashanti region. I'm still in the Aswanse constituency.
Political parties will be campaigning for your vote.
We have done almost about 80 to 90 different projects across the country.
There is no single school under any electoral area that has not seen the development of Honorable Muntaka.
But as a constituent, what will inform your choice of a candidate to represent you in Parliament?
My party is my community. What program are you bringing in to solve the problem of my community?
Be involved in what concerns you. My name is Fremedu Nyame. Join me on the constituency for all you need to know concerning your socio-economic development. The constituency airs on Citi TV Mondays to Thursdays.
This weekend on Footprints, former Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Professor Achiman Bedu Akosa, continues telling his riveting story.
But everybody felt that pathology was too difficult. Akosa couldn't do it. And the head of department said I didn't get distinction in pathology, so he wouldn't accept me. I said, hey, my first degree there was head also. Second degree,
that's all.
The couple. No. So luckily he went on sabbatical and I got accepted. And when he came back, I was in the department and he wasn't happy, but he soon realized that it would have been a mistake if they had not taken me into the department.
Wow.
So we did 2 years here, good grounding. I was on autopsy duty every day. Every day I did 20 autopsies. Every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
At the main mortuary?
Yes.
So you were contesting with Papa Kwesi Ndum?
Papa Kwesi Ndum, Kweku Asafo, Raja Kwete, who else? Yeah. So there were 3 people from the same camp fighting Papa Kwesi Ndum.
Okay.
And of course, he won. But because I knew what had happened, I told him that there was no way I was going to give him my support. Because I don't believe that a political party should be totally emasculated by another political party.
Okay.
All right? So you didn't win squarely, and I withdrew. So this was not where Ghana should be at all. And this is somebody who, on the very day he finished his program in Abuja, he came by boat straight to Ghana and giving his all to Ghana. Because now it is almost as if everybody else in Ghana does not matter except those who have committed themselves to a certain political discipline. They are the only people who matter. They are the only people whose views matter, and everybody else is sidelined.
Footprints airs this and every Saturday at 9 a.m. with a repeat on Sunday at 4 p.m. only on Citi TV.
Footprints is sponsored by Bethel Logistics Company Limited, experts in shipping logistics.
Message here says, hello, I politely asked my wife whether she's cheating on me because she doesn't pick my calls. She got really upset and is packed out of the house. I went to plead with her, but she says she's not coming back because I don't trust her. What do I do? I'm dying slowly.
How do you go from she's not answering my calls, why are you cheating on me? There's more to the story, and for me personally, this has more to do with him than her.
After the first time you say it, the second time, and it's like, okay, all of a sudden I'm not picking up my phone calls. And does that mean that I'm cheating on you?
You did the whole paradox of I politely asked if she was cheated. Which one is that? Because that
I was about to ask you ladies, like, how do you do that?
Like politely asked. So he said it in a nice voice, or he said it with a smiley face.
At first he said it in a bad voice.
Sure, you're cheating, honey.
You must be cheating, no. Now who cheating? Like, I don't even understand.
Sister is sponsored by Vodafone. The future is exciting, ready and secure. You decide.
There's a time for everything in the agriculture value chain, from land, tilling, planting, harvesting, storage, and even marketing. Now, when it comes to storage, local storage methods in the northern part of the country, as well as our middle belt, where a majority of our agricultural produce are generated, will not suffice because of possible losses due to pest damage. Now, due to such challenges, farmers are usually forced to sell early, leading to income losses. So therein comes these new warehouses under IPEP. We're currently at the Lamshegu warehouse complex, where we already have some old warehouses, but new ones have been added. Now, how critical will these be? For some stakeholders, it will prevent such things as post-harvest losses.
We know farmers, after farming, there's abundance of food, produce, and some of them just go to the market and sell them at cheaper costs, for the fear that it will go bad. But if you have the storage, you can go and store them at the facility. So we think, in collaboration with USAID, when we do the warehouses, it also help mitigate the issue of food security in the world, not even in the country. Because if Ghana has a lot of foodstuffs, where to even store their food, it can go to our neighboring countries and even other countries. So that's the reason why some of the warehouses are completed. We have over 40 that are completed, fully completed.
Baby, I know you didn't go na ye bread. Zante edigu ha apaka ye bopatene ediguma edutama ebeton na bibiri ho apro amwa wure ni adu ye den kura bibiri unyane nyina bibiri be pro. Enti ba se aban ye warehouse ama no ni aje ho papa. Zante ebe boy.
Timitin kan say Madaroma was we na mobile boy say benya baby fadiegu ihia bosia bi amoasem e manage pa.
In the northern regions of the country, the following communities will benefit from the warehouses. Northern Region: Tamale South, Yendi, Kumbungu, Tolong, Bungpurugu. Savannah Region: Yape Kusogu. Upper East Region: Busa North, Paga, Pusiga, Boku Central, Tempane. Upper West Region: Lambusie, Wa East, Sisala East. The following communities across the country will also be beneficiaries of the One District, One Warehouse project. Ashanti Region: Idra Seche Dumasi, Kumeu, Ofinsu North, Ahafano North, Mampong, Seche Afram Plains. Bono Region: Sunyani East. Bono East Region: Nkranza South, Atebubwa Mountain, Techiman South. Eastern Region: Upper Menyakrobo, Fantiakwa North, Impraiso, Yilokrobo, Ayensuano, Afram Plains North, Afram Plains South. Oti Region: Krachi East. Greater Accra Region, Shai Usuduku. Central Region, Cape Coast North, Ewutu Senya East, Upper Dintra East, Upper Dintra West, Trifua Timokwa, Asin North, Western North Region, Dwaboso, Seshiyuoso, Bia East, Swaman, Bibieni and Shweso Bekwai. As government implements its integrated strategy to improve the fortunes of agriculture in Ghana, using programs such as the Planting for Food and Jobs, the One Village, One Dam, as well as the Warehouse Receipt System, it has become evidently important that warehouses or new warehouses under the One District, One Warehouse policy be provided across the country to ensure that excess produce are mopped up. Now, this will not only help reduce the incidence of post-harvest losses, but will also improve the fortunes of the ordinary Ghanaian farmer.
Message here says, hello. I politely asked my wife whether she's cheating on me because she doesn't pick my calls. She got really upset and was packed out of the house. I went to plead with her, but she says she's not coming back because I don't trust her. What do I do? I'm dying slowly.
How do you go from she's not answering my calls, why are you cheating on me? There's more to the story, and for me personally, this has more to do with him than her.
After the first time you say it, the second time, and it's like, okay, all of a sudden I'm not picking up my phone calls. And does that mean that I'm cheating on you?
You did the whole paradox of I politely asked if she was cheating. Which one is that? Because that
I was about to ask you ladies, like, how do you do that?
Like politely so he said it in a nice voice, or he said it with a smiley face.
I suppose he said it in a bad voice.
Sure, you're cheating, honey.
You must be cheating, no. Now who cheating? Like, I really understand.
Sister is sponsored by Vodafone. The future is exciting, ready and secure. You decide.
That's kind of cynical. I mean, because I'm not sure that all that we have done have necessarily been to the benefit of middle class or wealthy people. So we will get to that.
Tune in to The Point of View this and every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. as I, Bernard Avile, get the right guests, ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you.
When MDB came, because they were not putting money in the sinking fund.
They were not putting money in the sinking fund.
Yes.
That's why this curve is going up.
The money was going to the sinking fund, but it was not being applied to debt.
I think that there's a lot of apocryphal conspiracy theories around. And it's not different from 5G causes coronavirus, COVID-19 and things like that. So there's been this long-term held belief that somehow there are some people that have planned that they will bust hundreds of thousands of people to come and change Ghanaian electoral outcome. There is no evidence for it. There is absolutely no evidence for it.
I am saying that we have very professional herbalists in this country whose capacity I know because I've tried it. But also there are quack ones within them. And the earlier we weed them out, the better for them.
Remember, The Point of View is live every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. only on Citi TV.
The Point of View is powered by Airtel Tigo. Have you heard that Airtel Tigo calls from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. and Airtel Tigo money transfers are now free on new SIMs? Now you know. Airtel Tigo. Life is simple.
Comprehensive news. The Citi Newsroom at 8 p.m. on Citi TV is your most engaging news bulletin on TV.
It's a very oh, that's too bad. The youth are still throwing stones. They are still throwing stones here into our direction. And can I come in? I want to come in. Okay.
Telling your stories better with correspondents covering every corner of the country.
Getting access to potable water is a daily struggle for residents of Kakichekopi and Balekopi communities in the Ada East district of the Greater Accra region.
Citi Newsroom at 8 p.m. Very fluent with issues that concern you.
This inquiry me come from Mr. Rabbi. Someone is here. Told you kind of 1 week. What do you say?
Is it unfair? What all this? What all this? We are dying! We are dying! We are dying for Choco!
With Citi Newsroom, your community is now connected.
In this our community, all of us, we are very sorry about this school. If we went to see the children, they are so small, even my grandchildren are there, my grands outside there. If they come out from the school, how will be easy?
Every day at 8 p.m., Citi Newsroom is live on Citi TV.
Surprises. Most people don't, but I do. And I'll be telling you about one of the surprise packages in this year's Premier League season. My name is Benjamin Nketia. Follow me on this episode of Offside. On this episode of Offside, Everton Football Club are my focus. The debate keeps raging on whether if they are legit title contenders or even legit top 4 contenders. Well, guess what? In the last 3 seasons, their best finish has been a 7th place finish. This season, they've already won 5 matches in their first 7 games. If that doesn't tell you that there's a wind of change blowing, nothing will. Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored 13 goals last season. He's already on 8 goals this season, meaning that he's taken his goal scoring to a different level already. And then, of course, the big signing of the season, James Rodriguez. He's already proven to be a revelation since rejoining Carlo Ancelotti. 3 goals and 3 assists to his name already. It's no doubt that in his absence in the last 2 games, Everton have stumbled. But if you look at their season overall, they have the ingredients to make a push for either a title or for the top 4. Why am I saying this? The superstar player I have spoken about is one of the factors. Calvert-Lewin's upgraded goal scoring is another. And then, of course, there's Carlo Ancelotti. Been there, done that, seen it all, and he is the man steering this particular ship. If you add on to their supporting cast, guys like Lucas Digne and Yeremina came from teams like Barcelona and PSG. These are guys that have won it all and know what it is when it comes to winning and achieving big targets. All this being put together, and I feel as if Everton have the ingredients to go on and make a push and surprise everybody this season. That's it for Offside for me. My name is Benjamin Nketia.
welcome to the constituency on Citi TV. Today, we are on the mountains. We are coming to you from the Mprayaso constituency in the Eastern region. My name is Fremedu Nyame. Join me. Let's explore Mprayaso. The Mprayaso constituency is in the Kwahu South district in the Eastern region of Ghana. It sits on the Kwahu Mountain, the highest inhabited area in Ghana. When you are in the constituency, some of the unique experiences are how the sun can still take the temperature and the humid air. You may need a jacket on occasional evenings. The fresh air from the green Rocky Mountain is serene when descending from the Kwahu Mountain. The architecture of popular towns gives the area a distinctive and spectacular view. The constituency, which has 120 communities, is home to over 85,000 people. The area is basically a rural constituency with the exception of towns like Obo, Bipong, Mprayaso and Besiase. Asante Twi is the widely spoken language in the area. It also has other languages which include Akuapem Twi, Fanti, Ewe, Wale, Ga, among others. Who are the people of Mprayaso? I'm at the palace of the custodians of the Mprayaso land, and I have some huge chiefs right here with me. I'm going to ask them who they are. Nana,
No, you're from Nana Anum Wensi. May Sapo Henny, a warm price of Henny, a him fee. Now, Messiah, Adishibusia, a friend who do PSC Asonano, may a Busia penny.
Nampacha and Mprayaso, I said, Chessing.
A dim Mprayaso. A brown and a quadroki in a dome. A bar hano. O quatra, bepon quamu baby. Nsuo bi wo ho ye frɛ ne pra baabi apra no ɛhye ne chi ase no ɛhɔ no kɔtenae na nana no ta wo pɛ ahokyie ana afi ɛsɛ ahunu bi penti aboa no ɛgye ne baagoro a no wayi n'ani ato nkyɛn wampɛ biribi a ɛbɛyɛ akwansidie enti ɔhyɛase wɔsii ne dan kyekyere kuro no ne fie no ana wɔgyigyaa ne dua ewo ho dua a ye gem frama ewo ase a eye yie ha enti ogiga nua ni bi ma ebe ye ne dua ana obobo nkonwa ewo ase ye saa bre no ne kwantempon so efiri eye obo obome kwakia ni nyina be fa ha enti so obi be kote se be pon tafo asaka ene afranya ho ade obe fa ha na nipa no atwa kwan na won mo bedu na na kwadwo kisi atena ye ho a no akotena nkonwa na se age ahome kakra na won mo adidi ono nso wo hwe se esan so ti asukon so nti ensu a ye kronye wowo enhinam ewo ho na akwantemfuo yi anya bi anom na won mama won maduane na dia na on panifi ana afi won pen kekaboa bi te se nkrane ene wansana no mo no enti wode mpraye asensen ledua ni mu enti se wo didi na wo sore akwa wo behwe ne nana no na nkasa kora no abayi praye ni bi no de pra enti wo hunu ne saa na wo beba beje no apra enti obi a bedu ho no didi wi anu ayi mpraye ni bi no de apra enti obi ya wo so mo bi enko ni eduru mpraye so a ni ya didi ni ya num nsuo ni ya home ni ya toa ya kwantuo so.
The constituency is well known for its tourist attraction like paragliding and the annual Easter festivities. The economy of the constituency is predominantly agrarian, with over 44% of the population employed by the sector. Crops such as maize, cassava, onion, cocoyam, yam, granates and cowpea are grown in the district. Fruits grown are mainly banana, citrus and watermelon. Cash crops grown are coffee, cocoa and oil palm. Livestock reared include poultry, pig, sheep and goats and cattle. The aquaculture development captures fisheries down along the Afram River, The constituency has a total road network of 6,743 kilometers, of which about 90% are feeder roads that are in poor conditions, especially during the rainy seasons. This mostly affects the transportation of food crops to the market centers. These conditions, coupled with inadequacy of suitable storage and preservation facilities, are major impediments to increasing agricultural production, making food crops expensive. Some of the communities this is affecting are Bepong and Betum.
We are still here at the Emprayoso constituency, and I'm currently here at Bepong. It is one of the communities in the constituencies. Now, this is also the birthplace of one of Ghana's founding fathers, Dr. J.B. Dankwa. Now, where I am is the taxi rank. The road ahead of me will take you to the Afram Plains areas. Now, the one on my right, that's the road going down there, will take you to Ntomim. This is the constituency on Citi TV.
No quarren in Yanko Point, no Bacasa Jamaya and Kakwa. There were here quite ya. Sending a quiet no more warhorn. Be anywhere in your being free hat. Emma, Nancy Aquine and so, and yet. Carney Simwa, a quine said, don't show, no one could do it. Or be better me if he had could do so whom. Now, handing to me, no one read. Yeah, Brepa.
It is in Babaya Baba Tree. MP for no Beba campaign in your man, or how Ben or Pessa what to say, or Mukas on Bay and San Why Watches a metrum away and a metrum.
Yeah, dear, there be a one bar, no one that I bear quina mum, ye bear quina mum. Yansusono, ye would GDS one bar, on Babua, Nansusono, Yaquine could told dear, no quarry won't dear, Hambo. Pa, and dear Sloan, so one bar on Babua and dear Yaquine who yay. If it's a no buyer in your free sapumuhan. And you're not by a ketua on a moye, our Yakwana Yimu.
So you're still watching the constituency. We are in Emprayoso constituency. This community is Bepong, and I have the Jasihne with me, Nana Osei Bwachi. Nana Yamakwaba.
Yeah,
Nana Bepong to say.
Boko.
No, me who coin be a fast.
Quano dear, and of course, some Yamin, I assume, on some children, Quania, a free or ABC, a hano. A road Naka, a faso ABC ha. Ebesi saa efie ya yeginami na efie ya yeginami sisi ya no baby a ye wo JB Dankwa nana
ni
fie ni nana papa ya catechist Presbyterian church nti obetra ha no obetra ya ombe ye de wo no e wo saa efie we mu nana JB Dankwa no be pon ye kan se ye wo nana JB Dankwa no a efie we mu ene ye wo no
na be pon na chase mo water side so nenta na mata ho ma efie ni nyina bubu
ye bende hwan na ebe boye enti na ye sasem we ya kan ye MPP for na kufu ado no mo ye me say ye di hu komo a kire mo say aha na ayi free na hwan na ebe boye enti say no amu na da so ewa mo dia befa ende
na Bepong ha how ben na wo ha say challenges be
ye how de ye house papa ye town roast town roast no ba bia nu a wo de ka fa so bi kura esi dan a edu ba bia ohwie no ten gu ba bi ene waso ade ayre e de akọ ye wo how bebre roast die ye de ye ni ba akon kura apart from road we twemu kọ Afram Place no town roast die ye ni bi wo krumra ye kwan nyina se wo amo ba se mu hu ni amo fa so a mo bai ni ye de fa so free abesin kọ ntomemu ni nyina wo hu ni nyina nti ye de ye ni bi wa nanso ye ka preparation ye wo kwa usafo ha Bepong yen ye dos yen ye di mo man more than 6 na but 10,000 ye benya kwa usafo ade obi enu a omodos hyen nso yakwa se be akuafo ene ade na Ghana ha nso aban fa nani misana meka no esan se yen ni nipa sebe yen ni hwe ewo ha
kwadu wa ha pa
kwadu de the whole Ghana metuna ka se ha ena kwadu ewo number 1 kwadu a ugina kantamanto agogosia CMB a kwadu e free cars e ba nyina aha ne free e bono nsia anwumre no nsia bra station ho the station kwa meka enye station po enye station bra lord kwan ho na be hwe cars a elodu a ekwa eye kwadu ni nyina free aha enti ye muade ye hia muwa papa ye hia muwa.
6 constituencies share boundaries with Emprayoso constituency. On the eastern boundary are the Fantiakwa North and Fantiakwa South constituencies. Nkoko and Etiwa constituencies share a boundary with Mpraeso on the south. On the north is Afram Plains constituency.
I'm still in the Mpraeso constituency. Now, where I am currently is the Central Business District of Mpraeso, and this is where Mpraeso constituency shares a border with Abetifi constituency. And so the road that is on my left will take you to Abetifi constituency, and that on my right will be taking you to Obo and Oboming. You're still watching the constituency on Citi TV.
Only 5 out of the 120 communities that make up the Mpraeso constituency are urban. The rest are rural areas. The area placed 56th out of 216 MMDAs on the recent District League table. With access to potable water, it scored 195th out of 216. There are 91 preschools, 100 primary schools, 69 junior high schools, and 5 senior high schools in the constituency. There are 3 hospitals, 23 CHIP compounds, 1 reproductive and child health and family planning center, and 5 health centers. The facilities may be solving the specific needs of constituents, but not all their needs.
Na ete say.
Nyamiada ro mama dama wonso e.
Nyamiada me huya. Ne fra say.
E from na boache.
Na business bako.
Oh, nyamiada ro ma. Ye nena mu kakra kakra sa.
What area?
Ahaya na me adwuma.
Okay. Na the area wuti Mpraeso because so taxi branch. Mo what to say?
Oh, nyamiada ro ma ye nyina ye ho ye na enyama keten bia ya na ewo omanyi ma na asem Mpraeso kurom ha no ana ha adwen kakra and ye betumi aka na say ha adwen esihire say adwuma ni ha titiriw adwuma nkasa o mama anka nipa beba kurom ama taxi drivers nka ye ho atoyen na yetumi aye adwuma ama ankunumdi aba no ye nya bi
adwuma to say den sir
company akese a wasan ka mafo bebie companies ma anka nipa bakuro yi mu amanka if say ufa baabi a benya nipa afa won no unya bisa
o hwe wasetina mu adwuma mu mantam a wotene manema e den na wo pese candidate ne ba wo tese candidate we se me ba meye 1 2 3 na wa hwe so aya wa adwen se na meto aba na ma we ya na meto ama we
ade a mehwe so ato aba e de ama onipa titiru bi a obeba Mpraeso constituency ya ne se mehwe se obeka adwuma asem se de na medi ka kan ne kan no obama company akese aba constituency ni mu se de be ya Mpraeso kuro ne ye be adom beba mu a as a taxi driver men so menya obi afa no na menya sika a me so me de bi ti abom ho bra ana biye won so ye nu anketo na omu wo fie a school sem ane enema ayabasa no obetimi aso na asene kakra ade o ma atoa aso ba bi o mpeso mu ko school ni kokoduru bia
na abaya ya betui kwame ede na wo gina so MP for de no ede na omo candidates ne ba na ombe omo campaign na ensembe na pesa wote enema be na pesa wote so obi be ka se meye we ni ama Mpraeso for ansa na wa hwe so ato aba no
we kan ni na yempuntu so bamba ma mpuntu aba kurum ha na kula ni abi ni se na be yanso benya adwuma ni biaye
okay so ka se mpuntu ade ne de ensa na opa ache
oh se be kan biaye Mpraeso kuri biaye o tan rules we kan se o ma start ya o mguso o moye de ba ma de se o ba o me complete ama sa ne ma ni na akoso na kula ani abi
all right, so let's get some more people to talk to. This is the Mpraeso constituency and I'm at the market area. Pacho una toni mewa hana. Na market is na Auntie Julie say nyame adoma December abeto aba. Nyame adoma meto. Enti Mpraeso awuwe o constituency mu ejene ohaw mbi e wo ha se ya wo pese se candidates no MP for de no pa na hia mempo candidates ne ba ejene ohaw e wo ha pese o mo ka ho asem na ho se okay so we so be we ni de na meto ama no den sem sa na wa
if I cho de ti kan pa ye toilet
the toilet ni ya
ebi o ha na se akakakra distances no ewa maybe o most houses no kura mche ni private isa nti ama enu major pa no
Alampai
yeah people's friend
thank you na pase December nyambo abeto aba
ma kwahwe me din kura
ndra
na mkohwe ye
oh man 5
Then I'm koshe, my koshe.
Enti area ha say on we say adwuma wo ye mpraye so e de ne o ha wa ha say a wo hye say say MP for no the president mpo MP for the ha omo ba
hwan no ana.
San crofon no
OPK.
Me de OPK asem kwa na make.
Me de hia me na me so make.
Sa enti e de ne ma na wo pese MP a wo pese wo to abama no Edian obey campaign and person what is Obeka Sabia, may we now convince us, say, any metal amount.
Me dear, hear me, I say, me gina my womb mudu. So they obey wame, me banibi. Oh, Akolawi, or Nam Honia Jumania, Baba Buana, a Jumana, no one I may share. Monipa me and Sabio secondary school, Goofia, Yanya Jumania. Into obey, a banabe buamia, me pay.
Into Pedio or day.
A Juma. Ebe krum ha ama me ba na nya biaye na me hwehwe.
Okay. Alampai,
super friend.
Yeah, that's it.
The New Patriotic Party, since the Fourth Republic, has enjoyed some dominance. In the 1996 parliamentary election, the NPP's Francis Osafo-Mensah won with about 15,000, while the NDC's Mike Kwabena-Seche Champong polled over 11,000. The 2000 parliamentary election saw the NPP's Francis Osafo-Mensah retain the seat with 13,000 votes, whereas the NDC's Mike Kwabena-Seche Champong garnered a little over 10,000 votes. The NPP's Francis Osafo-Mensah in the 2004 parliamentary election again won the seat with 18,000 votes, while the NDC's Kwekuba, a new entrant, polled 8,000. The 2000 parliamentary elections saw new entrants for both parties. The NPP pressed Seth Kwame Champong, who subsequently won the election with over 36,000 votes. The NDC's Dr. Seth Kranting polled 7,500 votes. In the 2012 election, the NPP's Seth Kwame Champong polled 22,000 votes, while the NDC's Joseph Omare, a new entrant, garnered 8,700. Seth Kwame Champong of the NPP, who was contesting for the second time, garnered a little over 20,000 votes, whereas the NDC's Emmanuel Okori-Boakye, a new entrant, polled 8,500 votes. From all indications, it appears it will be very difficult for the opposition NDC to win the seat. The party is bent on winning it this time.
We're still in the Mparaso constituency. I'm now at the NDC constituency office, and I have here with me the secretary of Seibonso Ato Plans. Welcome to the constituency.
Yeah, thank you.
So how is NDC doing?
Yeah, we are doing good. It's quite okay. But you know, when you come to Mparaso, being the stronghold of the MPP, yeah, it's not a constituency that you hear the NDC being that vibrant, but it seems we are doing quite well.
So have you thrown in the towel already?
No, we haven't. We have always given them a tough fight, and then that is going to happen this year as well. The only problem that we had is in the delay of selecting our parliamentary candidates. We just had a candidate just 29th August 2020, so it's not long ago. It's not even up to 1 month.
Okay, so how is campaigning going?
We have started moving the campaign. We are yet to launch our mega campaign, but we have already inaugurated a constituency campaign team. And then we have started moving, inaugurating the branch. In NDC, we call it branch, not polling station. Yeah, we have started inaugurating the branch campaign team. So that's what we are on now. And then we have had our campaign volunteers that we have also inaugurated that have started moving house to house and those stuff. Yeah.
Since it is, like you put it, like a stronghold of the NPP, what is your campaign message to the people? What are you telling them moving from house to house?
Yeah, we are telling them something very simple. We have voted for the NPP since 1992, but have not seen anything. In fact, all major and something that I do call it monumental projects, it's being done by the NDC, not the NPP.
What?
Yeah, you see the road that you used when you were coming, the Nkoko Etibie road. The first time the people of Kwao seen asphalt is the Nkoko Etibie road. It was done by the NDC. If you look at the big Mparaso market, it was done by the NDC. Yeah, no, that was under Rawlings. Okay. But what I just want to say is we have voted for the MPP since 1992, but we have not seen anything.
Will the NPP retain the seat for the 7th time?
I'm still at the Mparaso constituency in the Eastern region, and I'm currently here at the NPP constituency office. I have with me the Director of Elections, that is Benjamin Boateng. You're welcome to the constituency.
Thank you very much.
And how are things going?
Oh, basically, now because of the COVID-19, party activities slowed down somehow, but gradually we are picking up and we are getting momentum. And as we are getting towards the 7th December, I think everything will be okay.
In terms of campaign, how are things going?
Oh, we are on course. We are doing well. Now, we have changed our campaign strategy somehow. Now we are basically doing what we call the house-to-house, and then some few contact meeting here and there, and we are on course. We are doing it. Unlike previously, that you see that kind of massive outdooring of campaigning. Now, because of the COVID, we have decided to restructure our campaign strategy, and it's going on smoothly. So far, so good.
Well, but people are quite worried. I've been to the market, I've spoken to some of the taxi drivers, and I mean the constituency in general, and people have issues. What are you doing? I mean, your MPP is the sitting MP, right?
Yeah, yes,
so what have you been doing? Why are people worried? They are complaining.
I don't know if you can give me a gist of what.
So they've spoken about the roads, they've spoken about unemployment, they've spoken about, in fact, toilet facilities.
Currently, Mparaso Town Roads is under construction. If you pass some of the, you see contractors all over doing construction of roads. So
you've mentioned the roads, but give me specifics. Give me 5 things that you have done, I mean, in this 4 years, almost 4 years.
I mean, if you come to Mparaso, so far, since we come, we have done almost about 80 to 90 different projects across the constituency.
Only 5.
Yeah. As I told you, currently, Mparaso Town Road is going facelift. We want to go to, there's a place called Fodua Junction to Kopraso number 1, Kopraso number 2. That's most of our towns down at the Ranakoko area. The roads is under construction, and when you go to Asakaka Town Road is also under construction.
Apart from roads, what else are you doing?
We have done a lot of water facilities now. Water system. We have one water system powered by solar. It's at the for just a price here.
The plights of residents in the constituency are the best evidence of the achievements these political parties are touting.
Agnes. Oh, yes, I do.
Now, this address in Amboa, December, okay. And you share MP4 there, no? Oh, share area how we see Empire so no word, Jumbo Nema, oh, yeah. A dear or how no has I feel say, Obiba. So person ye MP ebia so ye CPP ni so ye PPP ni so ye den oba no be ka se ye oba ne campaign na ensembe na person wo te so ka se me ba me ye weni no ahwa so ato aba
eno de se na obi apɛ enkoso obi apɛ ne yie die enti so ba na so be boa ye no ma enwuma ye no etumi akoso a ye ni problem
mo be sa na wo feel so mo de ma wa waduma be koso
se eduma so wo na oni eduma ya won sa brabo ni nkoye ba oba no boa ye na se eduma e ba kro nu mu a ye benya nije e wo na ye de atrance so na me de me hu.
So we are still here in the market. This is Mparaso. Let me go talk to this my new friend. Madam, good morning, let us say.
Morning, Adam.
Na Fro say.
What's for me this Zelia?
Zelia day.
How do?
Oh, okay. Market we ne Mparaso we or how bad pan e wo area has say I feel say e was say mpanyimfo hwe no mo ye.
Or how no dey do so bebre. Your market ayetia special in so to ye hu amane. En so to a ye ntime na afen so say na o ma ye like o ma ye floor no enko ye emrewe etehwe ni mpanimfo etehwe ya kan ye mpanimfo ni mu aye.
Enti December na mbo ye beto aba so ya we.
Me ya we pa. Metal.
Okay. And you MP4 there no. A den some na person what to say. We say okay na mba me ye we anyway and na me ye we anyway no wa hwa so ato aba na ma Kofi ana say ama.
One eye kwan. And I said no be hwe your school for no so ama wom. And it say so no niam boy ye den. So so mutimi tete niam na so. E ma yen. So mutimi ye we nyina dia ye no mu ni problem bia.
Give me another 5 things that you will do.
For now, the incoming MP, inshallah, if God permit, by 7 January, the good people of Price will give it a nod. One thing that he has put up as a major agenda that going forward is what they call as an apprenticeship for most of the youth, because most of the youth may not have what they need education background to take this white collar job. But the MP is putting up a mechanism or strategy in place that we are going to set up a strong entrepreneurship program, that's apprenticeship, whether those weathering and all the dressmaking and then hairdressing, what have you. All these things. So that's one of the major, because we think that the young guys in Congo should not be left out in our forward march. And that's what the MP is determined to do, that you bring all these young people who have not been fortunate enough to go to the school at the highest level so that they can also get something to do.
All right. I mean, if you hit town, if you talk to the people, what do you think the chances of your candidates are?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no way he's going to win. It's going to be massive. I mean, it's going to be massive. And we are even thinking of going for what we have set as our agenda, 35 votes for the parliamentary candidate and His Excellency Nana Dankwa go for it. Inshallah, we shall deliver it.
You've mentioned 2 things so far that you'll be doing. Yeah. The Afram Plains Road and the Amate irrigation. Give me 3 more things that should Adam Kalim get the nod. You will do in the priority.
Yeah, this is one thing that we will do. One, we make sure we get a technical school in a district, a technical vocational school. We don't have a technical vocational school in a district, so that's what we have planned that we will do. And then I've made mention of Bepon town rules, that we will make sure Bepon people, because Bepon is one of the communities that has the most population in the districts. In fact, it seems they are even more than in Praeso. So we are going to do the Bepon town rules for them. And then when you go to Intomem area, 1, they don't have rules. 2, they don't have electricity. The whole enclave do not have electricity. So what we are going to do is to facilitate all processes that needs to be done. Because NDC started something under China Hunan project that was giving rural electrification. But since these people came, they have halted the whole process and it's not going on. This is what we are going to do. Do the Bepon town rules, and then do the Intomem road and the electricity over there. And then we make sure we have established a technical school in our district here.
So this is Obo, another community in the Impraiso constituency. Now, Obo is uniquely known for its beautiful architecture and nice weather. This is how we wrap up on the constituency today. Coming to you from Impraiso constituency. My name is Premier Dunyame. See you next time.
Instead of for us to look for jobs, why don't we start up something which can help to change our fathers, our mothers' life?
I tell the fellow youth, so many of us are without jobs. If we can put ourselves in the hot seat, we can create the jobs.
But in Africa, we actually have needs that if you solve them, you're able to impact the people within the continent.
Without fear, people become more productive. They become daring. They become creative, and they become innovative.
I decided to quit my job. Even if I don't make it, I'll have tried. I will have known that it can't work.
Nothing is magic here. Everyone who arrives somewhere is working day and night.
It's something that will enable you to grow a lot of skills you didn't have.
You're trying to build something that is beyond the borders of this country.
If you want to change the world, right, you might as well start from home.
This is the Election Bureau. Hello and welcome to 2020 News here on Citi TV. My name is Mina W. Coming up, over 62,000 security personnel to be deployed across the country in the upcoming polls to ensure a violence-free process. And we'll take you to the Oti region where 4 communities, including Lolobi, are currently without political and administrative representation. And on to our first story. In a lead up to the 2020 general elections, the Inspector General of Police, James Opombueno, has indicated that a total of 62,794 security personnel will be deployed across the country to help ensure a violent-free election, as some communities across the country have been identified as flashpoints. According to the IGP, adequate personnel will be deployed to such areas to prevent any unfortunate happenings. Here's Inspector General of Police James Opombueno speaking at a presser earlier today.
62,794 security personnel from the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana Fire Service, the Ghana Prison Service, the Ghana Immigration Service, the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, and the Ghana Armed Forces are being deployed for the elections. All the personnel that I've mentioned will be in their regular uniforms, with the exception of officers from the Criminal Investigation Department and of the Police Service and the Bureau of National Investigations, who will remain invisible, in quotes. We will adopt a 4-tier approach of starting duties of policing the ballot at all the 33,367 polling stations, revised to 40,000 recently, and 275 collation centers. Patrols, rapid response, and standby forces to provide swift action when they need.
Let's still stay with security issues because police at Agona in the Setra South District of the Ashanti region are holding 2 persons for possessing 220 parcels of a substance suspected to be marijuana. 59-year-old poultry farmer Solomon Achinim Boateng and his 45-year-old laborer Kasi Castro were arrested during a police swoop at Wiamoso. The Setra South District Police Commander Superintendent Kofi Gamson spoke to Citi News.
Last year, we arrested him with some 3.5 parcels of substance, which has actually been tested by the forensic lab, and it proved positive. So we are in court with him. So for him, he is known to us. At this particular job in court, this particular one, we counted 216. In addition to the 4 that we had earlier, making it 220. So currently we are conducting our investigations. We want to know the source of his supply so that we'll be able to block that one, then break that chain of supply from him.
A Deputy Minister for Energy in charge of Finance and Infrastructure, Joseph Kudjo, has chided former President John Dramani Mahama for insinuating incompetence on the part of the President Akufo-Addo, his led administration, for failing to establish a power plant during his tenure. Yesterday, as part of his tour of the Greater Accra region, John Dramani Mahama, in reproaching the NPP government, indicated that all previous governments had established power plants except the incumbent. But speaking to Citi News in Parliament, the Deputy Minister, who doubles as Member of Parliament for Ifia in the Western region, asserted that there hasn't been a need to establish a power plant because the country currently has an excess supply of power.
Then that will be the most irresponsible statement I would ever hear from somebody who had been in charge of the economy and especially the electricity and power subsector. It would be the most irresponsible statement because he must have heard and must have known that they contracted excess generating capacity and we're already suffering financially as consumers of electricity under that burden he created and did create irresponsibly. He must have known. As we speak now, generation capacity we have is in excess of 5,000.